Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes, I'm back with your 5 aspects of the soul. We are going to cleanse up these cards very, very quickly and get straight into your reading. My dears, how have you been? How have you been? I have a message for you quickly. Please make sure that you are absolutely focused on your immune health. I beg you, please, because Samagwan again. I mean, it's not been 2 months. Marceline's trying to join the party. It's not been 2 months, and this is staying. Yeah. It's not been 2 months. Okay, it's Vivian Westwood. It's not been 2 months, and we already sniffling. And again, come on, man, come on, stop playing with us. So make sure, guys, that you are focused on your immune health. You are detoxing any heavy metals, any negativity, any F-reads around you at this time. Is very important. It's very important. Okay, that's all I want to say about that. So we're going to get straight into these cards in terms of the 5 aspects. I'm sorry I missed last week, but life lifed, and that's going to happen. That's going to happen sometimes, okay? Life lifed, and I was unable to come through and give you your reading. Okay, but I'm here now. And that's the most important thing. And sometimes I feel like not every week something. Get me? Sometimes nothing. Sometimes we're chilling. Sometimes we're just reflecting, you know. So, yeah. That's what happened last week. Sometimes we're just reflecting, okay? We're not taking ourselves too seriously. I pray. Okay, this is the last set, and then we're going to get straight into prayer. Alright, my loves? Alright, boom. Our Divine Mother and Father who live within us, higher be thy name, our freedom come. Your will be done in us as it is within you. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses against ourselves and others, as we forgive those who trespass against us, you and themselves, as we forgive those who... Let me start again. Forgive us our trespasses against ourselves and others, as we forgive those who trespass against us and themselves, to all lifetimes, timelines, and levels of consciousness. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the absence of love. For we are the kingdom, we are the power. Divided we are weak, united we are victorious. And to you indeed, God, we give all of the glory forever and ever. Duanete. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's done, it's done, it's done. So it is, and so it will be. Ashe. I seem all over the place, don't I? But I'm not. I'm actually in between clients. I'm doing hair all day today, so I thought I'd quickly jump on between clients and get some content out to you lot. Okay, so we are going to start with the Divine Feminine. Let's see what energy Divine Feminine is getting today. Let's have a look. Divine Feminine energy. I invite my ancestors, my guides, my angels, my Orisha, my guardians of the sea, air, fire and ether into this space, so that they can assist me with any messages that we need to hear as a collective at this time. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I also ask for your continued protection surrounding myself and anybody who is privy to this message at this time. Right? Okay. Also, I've been taking vitamins, vitamin D, and is it K2 that helps to absorb it. Also been taking probiotics. First time. I mean, we're trying new things. As age creeps upon us, we're trying new things. Okay. All right. Divine Feminine energy. Let's have a look. See what you're on. Got 2 for Divine Feminine. We've got nurture together and discipline, and we got good fortune, which I love for us. We've got the hen treads on her neck's. Sorry, I need my glasses. Because I don't know who I think I am trying to read these. Very small writing, and I can't see. Okay. Alright. The hen treads on her chicks, but she does not kill them. This represents the ideal nature of parents or carers, or being both protective and corrective. And we also have got good fortune. This symbol suggests good luck and being blessed. Let's start with nurturing together with discipline. When I say together, I mean you and the Most High working in conjunction with each other. I mean nurturing together also could mean some level of co-parenting. And when I say co-parenting, I'm not only talking to people that actually have children, I'm also talking about the way that we as a collective help to raise the youngers, because it does take a village. I really pray that we are getting back to this consciousness of raising our children as a collective and not as individuals anymore, because it hasn't got us anywhere. I feel like Gen X was the last generation raised in a village like capacity, and it shows. It really shows. I think that we need to take a little bit more responsibility for each other's children. And literally, when you're out and about and you are presented with young people, and if young people, it's not just about discipline, it's also about lifting up their spirits, lifting them up, giving them a compliment, saying something nice to them, because sometimes some of them are not hearing nothing nice. From morning till night, they're not hearing anything positive about them. It feels very random, but I also think as divine feminine energy, it's also our responsibility to nurture, but also to have that discipline not to spoil. Because again, as much as my generation, Gen X, were the last generation to be raised in a village-like mentality, we were also probably the first generation to excessively spoil our children. And it shows. It shows. So I think this message for divine feminine energy is also to maybe create some boundaries, whereas before you hadn't set good enough boundaries for yourself, as parents, as also children, as not being able to put boundaries up towards your parents. I saw something yesterday that said, or maybe it was today, I don't know what it was, whether it was I can't remember what it was, but it said something to do with, what did it say? It said, learn to put boundaries down to your parents. My inner child laughed out loud. Boundaries to your parents? What is that? What child has the authority to do that? I was so like, my inner child laughed out loud, because it was like, I can put boundaries down now as an adult, but when I was a child living in my mother's house, there was no fucking way. There's no way that I could put boundaries down as a child. But I feel like some of your inner children, it may come up in the reading, but some of your inner children definitely need to put down some boundaries between you and your parents at this time as adults, especially if you don't live with them anymore. There needs to be some set boundaries being put down so that you are not being violated in any way, so you're not being distressed or called out your name at this time. I mean, why is that happening? I think it's important as carers now who understand that young people do have voices, young people do have their own boundaries, and young people do have their own needs in terms of how they are cared for and how they are nurtured. And I think it is healthy to encourage our children to speak up. This card, I know this, we're not pulling clarifiers, but this card was left in the box. And can you imagine the things that I'm talking about? It just kept drawing, my attention just kept drawing to it. I'm not going to pull it as part of really this reading, but it's really important that we have a home that we are comfortable in, that we feel safe in, that our children feel comfortable and feel safe in. Right now, like I spoke about sometime last week in whatever type of broadcast I was given, I can't remember if it was this or something else, but I was saying that because of the what's it called, the displacement that a lot of people are feeling at the moment, it is so important that, like I said, that we learn to nurture and take care of each other, not just as children but even as adults. It's really important, again, nurture together with discipline, putting boundaries up and making people clear about your boundaries, and making sure that if your boundaries are overstepped, that you speak up for yourself. And this is with friends, family, whoever, work colleagues, whoever this may be, whoever this is for. Make sure that you feel safe where you are. Make sure that you feel valued where you are, and that is your responsibility. It's nobody else's responsibility. Divine Feminine Energy, this is on you. And we also got good fortune. Symbol suggests good luck and being blessed. This is, again, this is such a great time for Divine Feminine Energy, in terms of really stepping into one's power and really feeling like your efforts are paying off at this time. And this is a theme, this is a common theme since I've been doing these 5 aspects of the soul this year, or even from the end of last year. Favour is for the Divine Feminine, for the Divine Feminine that has been consistent with her work, for the Divine Feminine that has been consistent with her healing, for that Divine Feminine that has been consistent with her passions and goals. This is definitely a time when your efforts meet some type of reward. I feel very confident about that, to tell you that. Alright, so let's get into Divine Masculine energy. Let's get into the energy of the Divine Masculine. The energy of the Divine Masculine is what, please? Please give us something for the Divine Masculine energy right now. What is going on for the Divine Masculine energy right now? Let's have a peek and have a look. See what that is. Resilience and solid foundation. We love that for you. It says, well-built home can withstand windy and treacherous conditions. This symbol suggests resilience. And we talked about the home. We talked about feeling safe in the home. And if anybody is going to be protecting and cultivating safety, it's that masculine energy. Remember, we're talking about masculine energy. This is not necessarily anything to do with gender. Your masculine energy is really working overtime to make sure that you are in a safe environment, to make sure that you have stability, and that your house is not made of straw or sticks at this time, because the big bad wolf is howling. Let me take that back. It's not the big bad wolf. This is the winds of change. This is Oya, who is howling her winds, and she will blow down anything that isn't stable. And that's any relationships, that's any businesses, that's homes, anything that is not stable. It will be torn apart at this time. So it's really important that Divine Masculine energy is in that space of protection, is in that space of resilience, really feeling confident in oneself to know that the foundations that have been laid, that you have laid for yourself, are enough to withstand whatever is coming next for us. Okay? It's very, very homely type reading. Let's see what the inner child is on. Let's see what the inner child energy is on right now. Strength, bravery, and power. It says the talons of the eagle. The eagle is the mightiest bird in the sky, and its strength is in its talons, in its nails, in the way that it can cling on to things. So the strength of the child right now, the inner child, the bravery and the power of the inner child is really being demonstrated at this time. That's why it's really important, like I said, to listen to the children. The children are at the forefront of who we are protecting at this time, because they're the future. They're the ones that we're doing all of this for. They're the ones that we are building this new world for, because the old world wasn't benefiting us and was never going to benefit them, and change needed to occur. We were tired. So again, this is why it's really important to understand the power of collective consciousness, and the things and the changes, especially in this 9-year, can bring if we all kind of have the same mindset that it's the children that we are trying to protect, regardless of race, creed, background, beliefs. The children are the children, and we are trying to protect them at all times, and their strength, bravery and power is definitely going to be something that will inspire us and that will push us forward to continue to make that safe space for them. Okay, you see my snake? Alright, well, okay. Shadow. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Don't hurt yourself, can free our minds. On the day of Robert Nesta Marley's birthday, emancipation and freedom from the shadow. It says the meaning is independence comes with responsibility. This symbol often means freedom. And the shadow will be breaking free. The shadows will be breaking free. There will be nowhere to hide for the shadow energies at this time. So it's better to step forward with your chest and be proud of who and what you are at this time. Because, like I said, some of the shadow energies that have been hiding in the shadows will be coming to the surface at this time, because they too want to be free. We talked about it if we're talking about like the Matrix and Agent Smith. What did Agent Smith want? Agent Smith just wanted to be free of the Matrix, as much as everybody else, as much as Neo and Morpheus and everybody else. The shadow was tired. The shadow was tired of its role, and it wanted freedom. It wanted to be free of all of the restrictions and all of the duties and responsibilities that it had. So the shadow, expect yourself to truly not be holding back. And I'm not saying that you're going to be reckless and crazy outside. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if we are really standing on business, if we are really truly being who we are, the shadow will have its say, and the shadow will have its place. And there's a time and a place for the shadow energy all the time. So the freedom for the shadow to be seen by all is definitely going to be a theme in this cycle, and these coming weeks. We also got initiative, adaptability, versatile, multi-talented, twisting. This symbol represents the twist and the turns in the journey of life. The tortuous nature of life's journey requires one to be versatile, use initiative, be motivated and resilient to survive. Here's that resilience again. The resilience comes again with the masculine energy. So the shadow and the masculine energy will be working quite closely together. So masculine energy is definitely the leader of things, and the shadow energy is definitely one who will not let anybody stand in its way of what it wants right now. So it's great to see that the two will be working in tandem together, the two energies. And the adaptability, because we were going to need to adapt because of some of the extreme weather anomalies that will be happening around the world. Adaptability is your key word and your key attribute at this time. You're going to have to learn to adapt. I'm just telling you. All right. And the shadow is definitely not afraid, ever, never has been and never will be afraid of a challenge. So just know that your shadow energy has definitely got you in this time. Ooh. Let's have a look to see what that is for the higher self. When I tell you, the card didn't want to be picked up. Jealousy and envy. It's very strange, a very strange energy for a higher self to take on. But let's have a look. The fofo, the yellow flowered plant, when the fofo petals drop, they turn into spiky seeds. I can liken this nature to the plant of a jealous person. The higher self. I'm actually just going to pull one clarifier for that, just because I don't really understand how higher self energy can be jealous. But maybe it's a thing where the other aspects are kind of clear about what they're doing. I will be pulling more clarifiers over on Patreon. But for now, just to give me a better understanding of what is meant by jealousy from the higher self, I just don't understand the concept. So we've got two cards. It says, feel your grief, but know that things will get better. This is the 5 of Cups. And I think that in these changes, in these times, as we push forward, there is going to be a lot of change that could possibly mean grief in terms of loss, whether it be physical loss or spiritual. When I say spiritual loss, I mean things like the loss of a paradigm in terms of, say, possibly a religious belief, and it's debunking and tearing apart of could cause a lot of grief, and a lot of people's higher self, so to speak, is based in their religious beliefs and faiths. And if those things are being questioned and compromised at this time, I feel like it possibly could mean that people will be feeling some type of way. They may also be feeling some type of jealousy and envy for those who are unaffected by these revelations that will be coming up at this time, as things truly are torn apart, peeled back and looked at with a magnifying glass. We also got the 2 of Wands in reverse, and the meaning is unrealistic, stifled sadness, wise with withdrawal, procrastination. And I feel like a lot of people, like I said, really do believe and lean on their faith in a way that if it is removed from them or if it is questioned, this could cause a lot of distress and maybe even some really deep mental health issues. And my message is to be as compassionate as you can to anybody who you think might be affected by such revelations coming to light at this time. Alrighty, and that is your 5 aspects of the soul. I'm going to move over to Patreon and I'm going to do the clarifications for this video. Alright, my darlings, I love you so much, always, 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 and I'll see you over on Patreon. Alright, my loves, ciao.